What really happened that night? And why did thousands of people suddenly fall silent at the same exact moment? Welcome back to Jikook Lover, the place where we uncover the moments no one can fully explain. And tonight, we're diving into something that has the entire world questioning what they just witnessed. Before we begin, make sure you hit like, drop your theories in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, because what you're about to see might completely change the way you look at concerts forever. Because that night, at Raymond James Stadium, BTS didn't just perform. They walked right into the crowd. And now the question is, what exactly happened in those seconds? No one expected that a stadium concert, planned down to the smallest detail, would turn into one of the most talked about moments across the internet in a matter of hours. It was supposed to be another unforgettable night, another powerful performance by BTS. But somewhere between the music, the lights, and the deafening cheers, something shifted, something subtle, yet impossible to ignore. That night at Raymond James Stadium began like any other massive show. The crowd was electric, the atmosphere overwhelming, and every fan in attendance knew they were about to witness greatness. When Idol filled the stadium, it felt like a celebration of everything the group represents: freedom, identity, and connection. But then, something happened. At first, it didn't seem unusual. The members began moving away from the main stage, stepping onto a path that brought them closer to the audience. This wasn't entirely unexpected. Artists often engage with fans during large concerts. And yet, this moment felt different. Why? Why did thousands of people suddenly react as if something unpredictable was unfolding right in front of them? In the now viral footage, you can see it clearly. The members weren't just near the fans, they were inside the moment, surrounded by a living, breathing sea of emotion. The distance between artist and audience, usually defined by barriers in space, seemed to disappear completely. And that's where the mystery begins. Some fans who were there insist that the energy changed instantly. They describe a shift that can't be fully captured on camera. A feeling that something unspoken was happening, something deeper than a simple interaction. Others noticed the members' expressions. More focused, more intense, almost as if they were searching, scanning the crowd, reacting to something unseen by the rest of the world. But what could it have been? Was it just heightened emotion, amplified by the scale of the event? Or was there a specific moment, something small, almost invisible, that triggered this collective reaction? As clips spread across social media, millions began analyzing every second. Slow down footage, zoomed in frames, replayed angles. People weren't just watching anymore, they were investigating. And the more they looked, the more questions they had. Why did the crowd's energy feel like it shifted so suddenly? Why did some fans go from screaming to stunned silence within seconds? Why did the moment feel bigger than what was actually happening on the surface? Some believe it was pure connection, the kind that only happens when barriers fall and artists and fans meet in the same emotional space. Others think there's more to it, something unscripted, something that wasn't meant to stand out, but did anyway. And perhaps the most intriguing part is this: there has been no clear explanation, no official breakdown, no detailed behind-the-scenes clarification. Just a moment, captured, shared, and endlessly discussed. In a world where almost everything is explained instantly, moments like this stand out even more. Because they resist easy answers. They invite speculation. They pull people in. And maybe that's why this moment refuses to fade. Because it doesn't give us closure. It gives us questions. What exactly did the members see in that crowd? What triggered that sudden shift in energy? Why do so many people who watch the same footage feel like they witnessed something completely different? No one expected that a single moment in a stadium packed with tens of thousands of fans would spiral into a global conversation filled with theories, emotions, and unanswered questions. What was supposed to be just another powerful stop on BTS's tour suddenly turned into something far more mysterious, something that people are still trying to understand long after the lights went out. That night at Raymond James Stadium had all the elements of a perfect concert. The energy was explosive, the crowd was unified, and every performance felt larger than life. When Idol echoed through the stadium, it carried with it a sense of celebration that only BTS can create, a mix of identity, pride, and connection that resonates across cultures and languages. But then something shifted. It didn't begin with a dramatic cue. There was no sudden blackout, no unexpected interruption. Instead, it happened quietly, almost naturally. The members began to move away from the main stage, stepping onto a pathway that brought them closer to the audience. At first glance, it looked like a standard part of a stadium performance, An effort to connect more intimately with fans spread across a massive venue. Yet almost immediately, people began to feel that this was not just another routine interaction. The distance between the artists and the audience began to dissolve in a way that felt unusually intense. Fans weren't just watching anymore, they were part of the moment, physically and emotionally. Phones were raised, voices were loud, but beneath all that noise, something else was building, something harder to describe. Those who were present say the atmosphere changed in a way that cannot be fully explained through video alone. It wasn't just excitement. It wasn't just admiration. It was something deeper, something that seemed to pass through the crowd all at once, like a silent signal that everyone somehow understood without words. Why did it feel different? That question is what continues to drive the conversation. As footage of the moment began circulating online, viewers from around the world started to notice subtle details. The way the members looked into the crowd. The way their expressions shifted, even if only for a brief second. The way certain movements felt less like choreography and more like instinct. Some fans pointed out that there were moments when the members seemed unusually focused, almost as if they were reacting to something specific within the crowd. Others believe that the connection between BTS and ARMY reached a level rarely seen in live performances, a kind of mutual awareness that blurred the line between performer and audience. But was it really that simple? Or was there something else hidden in those seconds that people are only now beginning to question? One of the most talked about aspects of the moment is the sudden change in crowd behavior. In a setting where constant noise is expected, several recordings suggest that the energy briefly shifted, not into complete silence, but into something more concentrated, more attentive, like the entire stadium collectively leaned into a single point in time. Moments like that don't usually go unnoticed. And yet, in the chaos of a live concert, they can pass by without immediate recognition, only to resurface later when viewed through a different lens. And that's exactly what happened here. As more angles of the moment surfaced, discussions grew more intense. People began analyzing not just what was visible, but what might have been missed. Every glance became significant. Every pause felt intentional. Every second carried weight. Some viewers became convinced that there was a specific trigger, a brief, almost invisible event that caused the shift in atmosphere. But without clear evidence, this idea remains purely speculative. Others argue that what people are interpreting as mystery is simply the power of collective emotion. That in a space filled with tens of thousands of people who share a deep connection to the same artists, moments of heightened intensity are inevitable. And yet, that explanation doesn't fully satisfy everyone. Because even among those who were physically present, there is no single version of what happened. Some describe overwhelming joy. Others recall a strange stillness. A few insist that there was a moment when everything felt suspended, as if time itself slowed down. How can one moment create so many different experiences? That question only deepens the intrigue. In today's digital age, where nearly every event is documented and dissected in real time, it's rare for something to remain ambiguous. Usually, multiple camera angles, fan accounts, and official footage come together to form a clear narrative. But this time, the narrative remains fragmented. And perhaps that's why it has captured so much attention. Because uncertainty invites imagination. The human mind naturally seeks patterns, meanings, and explanations. When those are not immediately available, speculation takes over. People begin to fill in the gaps, drawing from their own perspectives, emotions, and expectations. For BTS, a group known for their strong connection with fans, moments like this carry even more significance. Their performances are not just about music, they are about communication, presence, and shared experience. So when something feels different, even slightly, it doesn't go unnoticed. Still, the absence of a clear answer leaves room for endless interpretation. Was it simply a perfectly timed interaction that felt more powerful than usual? Was it a spontaneous moment that even the members themselves didn't anticipate? Or was it something so subtle that it can't be fully understood from the outside? These questions continue to circulate, fueling discussions across platforms and communities. And the more people talk about it, the more the moment seems to grow beyond what it originally was. What started as a brief interaction during a live performance has now become a subject of global curiosity. A reminder that even in a world driven by clarity and information, some moments resist definition. They exist in that uncertain space between what we see and what we feel. And maybe that's exactly what makes them unforgettable. Because not everything needs to be explained to be meaningful. Sometimes, the lack of explanation is what gives a moment its power. And so, the footage continues to be watched, analyzed, and debated. New viewers discover it every day, bringing fresh perspectives and new interpretations. The conversation doesn't fade, it evolves. Each person sees something slightly different. Each person feels something unique. And in that diversity of perception, the mystery lives on. So now, the question remains stronger than ever. Was this truly just another concert interaction, amplified by emotion and perspective? Or was it one of those rare, unplanned moments where something unexpected happened right in front of thousands of people, and somehow, no one can fully explain what it was?